Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
And now chapter 15, explanation of the Atmaram verse in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Lord Chaitanya next explained a very famous verse known as the Atmaram verse, which appears in Srimad Bhagavatam as follows. Atmaramascha munayo nigranta apyurukrame kurvant yahaitukim bhaktim itambuta guno hari. This verse indicates that those who are liberated souls and are fully self-satisfied will eventually become devotees of the Lord. This injunction is especially meant for the impersonalists, for the impersonalists have no information of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They try to remain satisfied with the impersonal Brahman, but Krishna is so attractive and so strong that he attracts their minds. This is the purport of this verse. This verse had been previously explained to a great Vedantist known as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. After taking lessons from Lord Chaitanya, Sanatana Goswami referred to this incident and prayed to the Lord to again explain the Atmaram verse. Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, appreciating the Lord's explanation of the Atmaram verse, has also glorified Lord Chaitanya in his prayers. Falling flat at the feet of Lord Chaitanya, Sanatana Goswami requested him to explain the verse as he had formerly explained it to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sanatana explained his eagerness to hear the same explanation in order that he might be enlightened. Being thus requested by Sanatana, the Lord replied, I do not understand why Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya so much appreciated my explanation. As far as I am concerned, I don't even remember what I said to him. But because you are asking this of me, I shall, with the help of your association, try to explain whatever I can remember. Thus the speaker and the audience are very intimately connected. The speaker is enlightened by the presence of the audience. The speaker or master can speak very nicely on transcendental subject matters before an understanding audience. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya said that he did not know how to explain the Sanskrit verse, but that since he was in the association of Sanatana, he would try to explain it. The Lord then went on to point out that there are 11 items in the Atmaram verse. 1. Atmarama. 2. Cha. 3. Munaya. 4. Nigranta. 5. Api. 6. Urukrame. 7. Kurvanti. 8. Ahaitukim. 9. Bhaktim. 10. Itambuta Guna. 11. Hari. The Lord then began to explain each and every one of these items. As far as the word Atmaram is concerned, the Lord explained that the word Atma is used to indicate 1. The Supreme Absolute Truth, 2. The body, 3. The mind, 4. Endeavor, 5. Conviction, 6. Intelligence, and 7. Nature. The word Atma means enjoyer. Therefore, anyone who takes pleasure in the cultivation of the knowledge of these 7 items is known as Atmaram. The Lord then explained about the different kinds of Atmarams or transcendentalists. As for the word Munaya or Muni, those who are great thinkers are called Munis. Sometimes the word Muni is also applied to a person who is very grave. Great sages, great austere persons, great mystics and learned scholars are also called Munis. The next word, Nigranta, indicates freedom from the bondage of illusion. Nigranta also means one who has no connection with spiritual injunctions. Granta means revealed scriptures, and Nir is an affix which is used to mean no connection, constructing, and also prohibiting. There are many instructions for spiritual realization, but persons who have no connection with such scriptural injunctions are also known as Nirgranta. There are many people who are foolish, low-born, and misbehaved, and who have no entrance into the revealed scriptures and injunctions, and therefore they are called Nirgranta. Because granta is also used for the purpose of collecting riches, the word Nirgranta also indicates a poor man, bereft of all riches, who is attempting to collect riches. The word Arukrama is used to indicate a highly powerful person. The word Krama is used to indicate the act of stepping. And the word Arukrama indicates one who can step forward very far. The greatest step forward was taken by Lord Vamanadev, who covered the whole universe in 2 steps. Thus, the word Arukrama indicates the Supreme Lord Vamanadev. This extraordinary feature of Lord Vamanadev is thus explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Verse 40. Vishnur nuvirya gananam katamo ratiha ya partivanya pikavir vimame rajamsi jaskamba yasvaramasa skalata triprishtam yasmatri samya sadanad urukampayanam, which means, quote, no one can estimate the inconceivable potencies of Lord Vishnu. Even if one can count the number of atomic combinations in this material world, he still cannot count the different energies of the Supreme Lord. As Vamanadev, the Lord was so powerful that simply by stepping forward, he covered the whole universe from Brahmaloka down to Patalaloka. Unquote. The inconceivable energies of the Lord are spread throughout the creation. He is all-pervading, and by his energy he sustains all planetary systems, yet through his pleasure potency he remains situated in his personal abode known as Goloka. By the expansion of his opulence, he is present in all the Vaikuntha planets as Narayan. By expanding his material energy, he creates innumerable universes with innumerable planets within them. Thus no one can estimate the wonderful activities of the Supreme Lord, and therefore the Supreme Lord is known as Urukrama, the wonderful actor. In the Vishva Prakash dictionary, the word krama is defined as an expert display of energies as well as stepping forward very quickly. The word kurvanti is used to mean working for others. There is another word similar to this, which is used when one's activities are done for one's own personal sense gratification. But the word kurvanti is used when activities are performed for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Thus, in this verse, the word can only indicate the rendering of transcendental service to the Lord. The word hetu is used to indicate the reason or cause. Generally, people are engaged in transcendental activities for three reasons. Some want material happiness, some want mystic perfection, and some want liberation from material bondage. As far as material enjoyment is concerned, there are so many varieties that no one can enumerate them. As far as perfections in mystic power are concerned, there are 18. And as far as types of liberation from material bondage are concerned, there are 5. The state of being where all these varieties of enjoyment are conspicuous by their absence is called ahaituki. The ahaituki qualification is especially mentioned because by the ahaituki service of the Lord, one can achieve the favor of the Lord. The word bhakti can be used in 10 different ways. Out of these 10, there is sadhana bhakti, or occupational devotional service. The other 9 are called prema bhakti, love of Godhead. Those who are situated in the neutral position attain perfection up to love of Godhead. Similarly, those who are situated in the relationship of master and servant attain love of Godhead to the stage of attachment. Those who are related in friendship attain love of God to the point of fraternity. Those who are in love with God as His parents are elevated to the point of transcendental emotion. But only those who are related with the Supreme in conjugal love can experience the highest of ecstasies. Thus, there are different meanings for the word bhakti. The Lord next explained the different meanings of itambhuta guna. Itambhuta indicates fully transcendental pleasure, before which the transcendental pleasure known as Brahmananda becomes like straw. In the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, chapter 14, verse 36, a devotee says, Tvat sakshat karana lada vishudabdistatasya me sukhani gosh padayante Ramanyapi Jagad Guru, which means, quote, My Lord, O Supreme, simply by understanding you or seeing you, the pleasure which we derive is so great that the pleasure of Brahmananda becomes insignificant, unquote. In other words, the pleasure derived by understanding Krishna as He is, as the all-attractive reservoir of all pleasures, and the reservoir of all pleasure-giving tastes with all transcendental qualifications, attracts one to become His devotee. By virtue of such attraction, one can give up fruitive activities and all endeavors for liberation, and can even abandon the intense desire to achieve success in yoga mystic power. The attraction of Krishna is so intense that one can lose respect for all other means of self-realization and simply surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord also explained the word guna in all its different meanings. Guna indicates the unlimited transcendental qualities of Krishna, primarily His Satchidananda form. In His transcendental blissful knowledge and eternity, He is fully perfect, and His perfection is increased when he is controlled by the attention of his devotee. God is so kind and merciful that he can give himself in exchange for the devotional service of the devotee. His transcendental qualities are such that the perfection of his beauty, his perfect reciprocation of love between himself and his devotees, and the flavor of his transcendental qualities attract different kinds of transcendentalists and liberated souls. For example, he attracted the mind of Sanaka Kumara simply by the aroma emanating from the flowers offered to him. The mind of Shukdev Goswami was attracted by the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna, and the minds of the damsels of Vrindavan were attracted by his personal beauty. Rukmini's attention was attracted by his bodily features and transcendental qualities, and the mind of the goddess of fortune was attracted by his flute playing and other transcendental features. Lord Krishna attracts the minds of all young girls and elderly ladies by his childlike activities. He also attracts the minds of his friends by his friendly activities. When he appeared in Vrindavan, he even attracted the birds, beasts, trees, and plants. Indeed, everyone became attracted in love and affection for Krishna. The word Hari has different meanings, of which two are foremost. Hari means that he takes away all inauspicious things from the devotee's life, and that he attracts the mind of the devotee by awarding him transcendental love of Godhead. Krishna is so attractive that anyone who can remember him in some way or another becomes freed from the four kinds of material miseries. The Lord gives special attention to his devotee and banishes the devotee's various sinful activities, which are stumbling blocks for the advancement of devotional service. This is called routing the influence of ignorance. Simply by hearing about him, one develops love for him. That is the gift of the Lord. On one side, he takes away inauspicious things, and on the other side, he awards the most auspicious things. That is the meaning of Hari. When a person is developed in love of Godhead, his body, mind, and everything else are attracted by the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Such is the power of Krishna's merciful activities and transcendental qualities. He is so attractive that out of transcendental attachment, a devotee will abandon all four principles of spiritual life: religiosity, economic development, regulation of sense gratification, and salvation. The words api and cha are adverbs and can be used for virtually any purpose. The word cha, or and, can render 7 different readings to the whole construction. The Lord thus established the import of the 11 words in the Atmaram verse, and then he began to explain the import of each item as follows. The word Brahman indicates the greatest in all respects. The Lord is the greatest in all opulences. No one can excel him in wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Thus, the word Brahman indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In the Vishnu Purana, Canto 1, Chapter 12, verse 57, the word Brahman is given to indicate the greatest of all. The Supreme Lord is the greatest, and there is no limit to his expanding as the greatest. One may conceive of Brahman's greatness, yet this greatness grows in such a way that no one can estimate how great he actually is. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is realized in 3 aspects, but they are all one and the same. The Absolute Truth, the Supreme Personality, Krishna, is everlasting. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, verse 33, it is said that he exists before the manifestation of this cosmic world, that he exists during its continuance, and that he continues to exist after its annihilation. Therefore, he is the soul of everything great. He is all-pervading and all-witnessing, and he is the supreme form of everything. There are 3 different kinds of transcendental processes mentioned in Vedic literature by which one can understand and achieve that supreme perfection of the absolute truth. They are called the process of knowledge, the process of mystic yoga, and the process of devotional service. The followers of these 3 processes realize the absolute truth in 3 different aspects. Those who follow the process of knowledge realize him as impersonal Brahman. Those who follow the process of yoga realize him as the localized Supersoul. And those who follow the process of devotional service realize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. In other words, although the word Brahman indicates Krishna and nothing else, still, according to the process that is followed, the Lord is realized in 3 different aspects. As far as devotional service is concerned, there are 2 divisions. In the beginning, there is Vidhi Bhakti, or devotional service with regulative principles. In the higher stage, there is Raga Bhakti, or devotional service in pure love. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the absolute truth, but he is manifested by the expansions of his different energies also. Those who follow the regulative principles of devotional service ultimately attain the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual world. But one who follows the principles of love and devotional service attains to the supreme abode, the highest planet in the spiritual world, known as Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan. Transcendentalists can also be divided into 3 categories. The word akama refers to one who does not have any material desires. Mokshakama refers to one who seeks liberation from material miseries. And sarvakama refers to one who has the material desire to enjoy. The most intelligent transcendentalist gives up all other processes and engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord, even though he may have many desires. It is not by any kind of transcendental activity, neither fruit of action, nor the cultivation of knowledge, nor cultivation of mystic yoga, that a person can achieve the highest perfection without adding a tinge of devotional service. But for devotional service, all other transcendental processes are just like nipples on the neck of a goat. The nipples on a goat's neck may be squeezed, but they do not supply milk. If one is to derive actual perfection from his process, he must take to the devotional service of Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita it is stated, Chaturvida bhajante mam, jana sukritino jana, arto jigyasur atarti, jnani cha bharata shaba, which means, quote, O best among the Bharatas, Arjun, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Unquote. From the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 16. When these 4 types of people amass righteous activities, they come to the devotional service of the Lord. Out of these 4, those who are distressed and those who desire wealth are called devotees with desires, whereas the other two, the inquisitive and the searcher for wisdom, are seekers of liberation. Because they worship Krishna, they are all considered to be very fortunate. In due course of time, if they give up all desires and become pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, they can be considered most fortunate. Such fortunate beginners can develop only in the association of pure devotees of Lord Krishna. When one associates with pure devotees, he becomes a pure devotee himself. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 10, Verse 11. Satsangan mukta du sango, hatam notsate buddha, kirtyamanam yasho yasya, sakred akarnya rochanam, which means, quote, a person who is actually intelligent is able, by association of pure devotees, to hear about Lord Krishna and his activities, unquote. These activities are so attractive that when one hears of them, he does not give up his association with the Lord. But for the association of pure devotees, all other association is kaitava, or cheating. This is confirmed in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is stated that all cheating processes which obstruct transcendental realization are to be thrown off. By Srimad Bhagavatam, one can understand reality as it is, and such understanding helps one transcend the three kinds of material miseries. Srimad Bhagavatam is compiled by the greatest sage, Vyasadeva, and it is a work coming out of his mature experience. By understanding Srimad Bhagavatam and rendering devotional service, one can immediately capture the Supreme Lord within his heart. Lord Chaitanya then explained that the word projita means desire for liberation. One great commentator explained that desire for liberation is the most obstructive stumbling block on the path of God realization. Somehow or other, if one comes to Krishna and begins to hear about him, Krishna is so kind that he awards him his lotus feet as a center. Having such a focal point, a devotee or transcendentalist forgets everything and engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord. When one comes to the Lord in devotional service or in full Krishna consciousness, the reward is the Supreme Himself. Once engaged for the Supreme, one no longer asks for anything, as do the distressed man and he who desires material possessions. The method of devotional service, the service itself, association of pure devotees, and the causeless mercy of the Lord all act so wonderfully that one can give up all activities and become absorbed in Krishna, even if he is distressed, in want of material possessions, inquisitive, or is actually a wise man cultivating knowledge. In summary, Krishna is the meaning behind all the words in the Atmaram verse. Up to this point, Lord Chaitanya spoke only of the introduction to the Atmaram verse. Next, he explains its real position. In the cultivation of knowledge, there are two kinds of transcendentalists. One of them worships the impersonal Brahman, and the other desires liberation. Since monists worship the impersonal feature of Brahman, they are therefore called worshippers of Brahman. These Brahman worshippers are further divided into three categories: the neophyte, one who is absorbed in Brahman realization, and one who has actually realized himself as Brahman. If devotional service is added, the knower of Brahman can then become liberated. Otherwise, there is no possibility of liberation. Anyone who is fully engaged in devotional service in Krishna consciousness is understood to be already realized in Brahman. devotional service is so strong that one is attracted to Krishna even from the platform of Brahman worship. The Lord awards the devotee the perfection of a spiritual body, and he eternally engages in the transcendental service of Krishna. It is when the devotee understands and becomes attracted by Krishna's transcendental qualities that he wholeheartedly engages in devotional service. For instance, the four Kumaras and Shukdev Goswami were liberated from the beginning, yet in their later life they became attracted to the pastimes of Krishna and became devotees. Sanaka Kumara was attracted by the aroma of the flowers offered to Krishna, and the other Kumaras were attracted by the transcendental qualities of the Lord, and thus engaged in his devotional service. The 9 mystics mentioned in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam are understood to have been transcendentalists from birth by virtue of hearing of the transcendental qualities of Krishna from Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Narada. Sometimes one becomes attracted to Krishna and his transcendental qualities simply by looking upon the beautiful features of his transcendental body, in which case one abandons the desire for liberation and engages in his devotional service. The devotee regrets his loss of time in the so-called cultivation of knowledge and becomes a pure devotee of the Lord. There are 2 kinds of liberated souls having material bodies: the soul liberated by devotional service and the soul liberated by the cultivation of knowledge. The liberated soul in devotional service, attracted by the transcendental qualities of Krishna, becomes more and more elevated, whereas those who engage in dry speculation and simply cultivate knowledge without devotion fall due to their many offenses. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, verse 32, where it is stated, Ye nye revindaksha vimukta maninas, vayasta bhavad avishuddha buddhaya, aruhya krichrena parampadam tata, patantyado nadrata yushmad angrahya, which means, quote, O Lord, the intelligence of those who think themselves liberated but who have no devotion is not pure. Even though they rise to the highest point of liberation by dint of severe penances and austerity, they are sure to fall down again into this material existence, for they do not take shelter at your lotus feet. Unquote. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma bhuta prasanatma na shochiti na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param, which means, quote, one who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Unquote. From the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 54. Thus, one who is actually situated in Brahman realization has no reason to lament or desire. He is equal to everyone and is thus eligible for devotional service. This was also accepted by Bilva Mangal Thakur, who in his later life lamented, quote, I was situated as a monist in order to become one with the Supreme, but somehow or other I contacted a naughty boy and became his eternal servitor. Unquote. In other words, those who attain self-realization by the execution of devotional service attain a transcendental body, and being attracted to the transcendental qualities of Krishna, fully engage in pure devotional service. Anyone who is not attracted to Krishna is understood to be still under the spell of the illusory energy or Maya, but one who is attempting to be liberated by the process of devotional service is actually liberated from the spell of Maya. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many instances recorded of devotees who became liberated in this life simply by engaging in devotional service.